They say it's cursed land. The hill where the old palace stands, hidden in the overgrown bush, is a place where no one dares to go after sunset. But I wasn't always afraid of it. I wasn't afraid until I saw her, the princess, standing at the foot of my bed, her eyes dark as the night, her lips curled in a smile that promised something worse than death. This is not a story to make you sleep. It's a warning. Because once you hear it, you'll understand why some stories should never be told. My name is Juma, and I grew up in a small village in Luwada, a place where everyone knew everyone. We had our traditions, our superstitions, and our stories. But none of those stories prepared me for what I experienced. When I was 10, my family moved to the edge of the village, close to the abandoned palace. It was an old, crumbling structure, left to rot after the royal family was wiped out in a mysterious plague. But people whispered that the plague wasn't natural. They said it was a curse brought by the wicked Princess Nalia. Princess Nalia was known for her beauty and cruelty. She had 3 children, 2 daughters, Osha and Kamara, and a son, Malik. People feared her because they believed she practiced dark magic. The elders said she made deals with spirits, sacrificing her own people for power. And when the plague came, it was her family that suffered the most. But no one really knew what happened inside the palace. Until I saw it myself. It started with the dreams. Strange dreams about a woman calling me from the hill. I'd wake up drenched in sweat, hearing her voice whisper my name. My mother said it was just the wind, but I knew better. The voice was real. One night, I couldn't take it anymore. I grabbed a lantern and headed to the palace. The village was quiet, and the moon lit my path. As I approached the hill, the air grew colder, and I could feel something watching me. The palace gates were open, creaking in the wind. Inside, the walls were covered in strange carvings, symbols I didn't understand. I walked through the halls, my footsteps echoing. That's when I heard it, laughter. It was coming from the throne room. I peeked inside and froze. There she was, Princess Nalia, sitting on the throne. She looked just as the stories described, beautiful but terrifying. Her eyes were black as coal, and her smile sent chills down my spine. Around her were her children. Osha and Kamara were whispering to each other, their faces twisted in anger. Malik stood by the window, staring out at the village. They didn't see me, but I could hear them. "She's coming," Osha said, her voice sharp. "The curse isn't over." "Silence," Nalia snapped. "We must wait." I ran home that night, too scared to tell anyone what I saw. But the dreams didn't stop. They got worse. I saw the princess in my room, standing over me, whispering things I couldn't understand. And then, people in the village started dying. It began with the old men and women. They'd fall sick, their bodies covered in strange marks. The healers couldn't explain it. Some said it was the plague returning. Others said it was the curse of the princess. But I knew the truth. The royal family wasn't gone. They were still in the palace, waiting for something or someone. One night, I woke up to find Malik standing at my window. His face was pale, his eyes empty. He didn't speak, but I knew what he wanted. He was calling me to the palace. I tried to ignore him, but the pull was too strong. I found myself walking up the hill again, my heart pounding. This time, the palace was different. The symbols on the walls were glowing, and the air was thick with the smell of blood. In the throne room, Nalia was waiting. "Welcome back," she said, her voice smooth as silk. "We've been expecting you." I couldn't move. My feet were rooted to the spot. "Why are you doing this?" I managed to whisper. Nalia laughed. "Because the curse must continue. It's the only way we survive." She stood up, walking toward me. Her daughters followed, their eyes locked on mine. "We need a new vessel," Nalia said. "Someone to carry the curse. And you've been chosen." I screamed, but no sound came out. The last thing I remember was Nalia's hand on my forehead, and then everything went dark. When I woke up, I was back in my bed. But I wasn't the same. I could feel something inside me, something dark and twisted. People in the village stopped dying, but they avoided me. They knew something was wrong. I knew it too. The dream stopped, but the voice never left. It's still with me, whispering in the dark, waiting for the day I return to the palace. So, if you ever find yourself in Luwada, stay away from the hill. Don't listen to the whispers. And whatever you do, never, ever enter the palace. Because the curse isn't over. It never will be.